welcome back to yet another installment of the Ben and Andy Show. I'm Ben, alongside me, my friend, my co-host, A to the C-O-N, Akon, Andrew Connolly.
What's going on?
I don't thank anybody today?
Yeah.
What are you gonna think?
We would like to thank Mr. John Roser for allowing us, there he is. We'd like to thank Mr. John Roser for allowing us the studio space. What do we got for news?
We got a new superintendent in the news. Ron Griffin, who is the current deputy director of charter schools at Foxborough. He's our new guy. You knew him, you met him earlier?
I met him, I took a selfie with him. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful selfie we just put on the screen.
He is a beautiful person. You?
Oh, okay.
You're not that bad looking.
Whatever. Whatever.
You're growing on me.
Whatever.
What about him? Stuff about him.
Yeah,
What do you
he's
think?
a good guy. He has a great story. He, one of our journalist classmates, Christina Pelletier, went up to Foxborough to interview him. He's got a great story about he was the first one in his family to go to college.
Wow.
And
inspiring stuff.
He's quite young. He's only in his 30s.
Wow.
But he's very funny. He's very personable.
I like that.
I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, he's got interest in expanding our district's use of the STEM curriculum. That, of course, is science, technology, engineering, and math, which are growing fields, and the use of project-based learning, which I understand that you have a bit of a bone to pick with.
Yes. I do not like project-based learning because imagine you have a group of 4 people doing one project, and you have one smart kid, and then you have 3 slackers. So what happens if they're probably going to make the smart kid do all the work while these 3 kids just slack off, and then they're all going to get the same grade?
Now, serious question for you, Andrew. When you do those groups, are you the kid who does the work, or are you one of the slackers who makes the kid do all the work?
Oh, we put in an equal amount of participation.
You do? I assume so. That's what the show is like. We are equal. Boom. All right, next we got more news for you next year. School starting at 8:20, a little later than it is this year, about 40 minutes late. Nope, 30 minutes later. Not a math guy.
Let's do the math.
43.
27. No, would you start 43?
I don't know. What time do we start school? 40.
37 minutes later.
45. It's
37 minutes
37. About 40 minutes later, which is actually significant. What do you think of that? I mean, I like it.
I'm glad I get to sleep it. You don't get to have that.
I know, but I would have liked to be able to sleep it. Except on the back end, ending later, a little bit of a force. You don't remember this, but when I was a freshman, we started at 7:15, was it? When we started freshman year, we got at 1:51. It was great.
Yeah, I remember when my brother was a senior, I was a freshman. Their senior prank was to leave at 1:51.
Yeah.
Almost everybody got detentions. It was hilarious, but
yeah, they weren't happy with us. But that was what it used to be, and now they're moving it back. So I
like this new time. I'm going to be able to sleep in more. I don't mind leaving at 2:40. It's not a big deal with me.
Yeah, and then other news around town. A local sixth grader, Theo Batty, is headed to DC.
Did I tell you? I made the video for him. I made the video that
you did?
Submitted to National Geographic.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So you have a personal connection to this.
Yes, I do.
So why didn't you bring it up to me before this point?
You didn't tell me we were going to be talking about Theo Batty.
Well, it's local news.
All right. Well, we'll show you the clip.
Hi, I'm Theo Batty from Scituate, Massachusetts, and I go to the 6th grade at Jenkins Elementary School. If I had any superpower, I'd choose to fly because I could get anywhere very fast. I'd like to share a question for you guys about my hometown, Scituate. In 1898, a severe storm hit Scituate, a peninsula of the town that was separated from the mainland into first an island, then a peninsula of the neighboring town, Marshfield. Name this peninsula. I'd like to also give some advice for how to study for the National Geographic Bee. I've been studying for most of my life, so the National Geographic Bee was pretty easy for me. If you have not been doing that, a YouTube channel I'd recommend is Geography Now, which covers every single country in the world. Geography is important because understanding culture, geopolitics, and history is hard if you don't know geography. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about my hometown, Scituate. Scituate is most famous for its lighthouse. Back in the War of 1812, the British decided to land their ships in our harbor and attack Scituate. However, the Bates sisters, Rebecca and Abigail, played the fife and drum by the lighthouse, and the British assumed that the American soldiers were coming. Let me show you a little more around Scituate. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys in Washington, D.C.
So that was pretty good, Andrew, I guess.
Thank
pretty
you
good,
very
I
much,
think. So yeah, he's going down there in May, I believe. I did the GOB when I was in school. Did you ever do the GOB?
I didn't. What does it stand for? Geography?
Geography B. It's like they ask you questions about like state capitals and like landforms and stuff. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I made it to like the school finals when I was in like 4th grade or something.
What's the capital of Montana?
Fresno? No. Yeah. Billings, Montana. But I
just forgot Montana was even a state. I don't know how you remember the capital.
So he is going to nationals for that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was very
DC.
impressed with the kid when I met him.
So good luck to you, Theo. And now for our weekly segment, Cam Thoughts. We asked this week what he thinks about ghosts. All right, Cam, what do you think about ghosts?
About what?
Ghosts.
Oh, you don't think they're real. They're very, very real. You know why?
Why?
Because it was like a scientific thing, and it was like a guy
Science
studied.
is on my side.
All right, we're gonna stick sports, but ghosts are very real. You know that because how does stuff move when nothing's there?
Are ghosts real?
Yes, I have a spirit in my house.
Spirits are different than ghosts, but okay.
Well, they're the same realm of like supernatural, and yes, they're real.
Right. Are ghosts real?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Yes or no? Do you think they're real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Scott, are ghosts real? No.
Yes.
Are ghosts real?
To be honest with you, I don't know. Sometimes I believe in them, sometimes
Yes or no?
Sure.
Are ghosts real? Ghosts real?
Yes.
So real.
Yes.
I believe in paranormal activity. Yes. Ghosts are real.
So I talked to a lot of students around the school, and they seem pretty split. I'm gonna go talk to some experts now and see what they think about ghosts.
Are ghosts real?
Yes.
Are ghosts real?
Are ghosts real?
Do you think ghosts are real?
I personally don't think ghosts are real.
Okay. Are ghosts real? It's recording. Are ghosts real?
To some people,
Do you think ghosts are real?
sometimes.
Okay, thank you. Are ghosts real?
No.
Ghosts are definitely real because I've had students that all of a sudden don't come to class for no reason, so they must be ghosts.
The students seem to be pretty split on the issue. I mean, we're leaning towards yes, ghosts are real, but
Yeah, so they're on my side.
The experts that I asked, Miss Elich, head of science, ever heard of her? She's pretty smart, said that ghosts weren't real.
I'm gonna cut her part out.
Don't. No!
I'm gonna put in all yeses. I'm gonna cut out
You
all
better
those.
not, Andrew. I will be very upset with you. So,
Also,
are ghosts
that
real?
footage was very
No.
bright.
Was it?
It was very, very
I didn't know how
bright.
to change the brightness.
That's okay. I'll try to dim it down. It's like there are ghosts all over the video.
Ooh, okay, that was a good lead-in. I like that. And now we got weather with Matt Fishman.
Thank you, Ben and Andy, and we are back with another week in weather. And now we are heading into May, so the weather should be warming up. However, it won't be warming up too much this week because at the start of the week, on Monday, we'll be kind of cold. It will only be about 53 degrees on Monday, but it'll be warming up a lot for Tuesday. And for Tuesday, we'll have 72 degrees, and there should be very minimal clouds in the sky. And the same thing with Wednesday. Although it'll be a little cooler at 67 degrees, it'll still be partly cloudy, very minimal clouds in the sky. However, towards the end of the week, we will crash a little bit. And this far out, we see Thursday at 56 degrees and a 60% chance of rain, and Friday at 56 degrees with a 50% chance of rain. Now what this means at this far out is there could be a storm coming across going from Thursday night into Friday, but we're not sure yet. It could be showers. Thank you, Ben and Andy, and that's your weekend weather on the show.
All right, so not that bad of a weekend weather for us. I mean,
Be some rain.
and towards the end of the week, but we should be good.
So as you know, Ben has thrown in his 2 months. Benny's not coming
Put my
back.
2 weeks in. Put my 2 weeks in.
Yeah,
3 weeks-ish.
yeah, more than that. Or-
No, I got a month.
Oh,
20 days, 19
you're not
days.
gonna come back in June and film?
Of course.
Well, they still heard it.
They do have a mic on.
Well, either way, we've been auditioning new kids in the grade below who will be with me when I'm a senior.
Next
Who
year.
can also do the show. We haven't decided who he's going to be, but here's a little sneak peek of those auditions.
What's up? What's shaking? And if I'm not mistaken, you are watching another episode of the Jack and Andy Show. I'm Jack. Next to me, we have Andy.
What's going on? We'd like to thank Mr. John Rosa for allowing us the studio space. Why don't we just jump to some news?
Well, top headline of the day, Ron Griffin, current deputy director at Foxborough Charter Schools, is our new superintendent. The process took a while, a lot of interviews, a lot of controversy, but he's going to be the guy. Main points of focus for him are STEM and project-based learning. Definitely. I'm excited for it personally. I've seen a lot of articles, a lot of things saying, especially that kids our age, 16, 17, really need sleep more than any other demographic. So I think that's really going to help us a lot with productivity and
I'm very glad this is happening.
Yeah, overall I think it's going to be a good change for the school.
Yes, it is.
So that's all we have for today. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of the Jack and Andy Show. Good afternoon. I'm Sean Francis, and you're not. This is Andrew Connolly, and welcome back to the Sean and Andy Show.
What's going on? We'd like to thank Mr. John Rosa for allowing us the studio space. Why don't we just jump to some news?
Ronnie Griffin, current deputy director of Foxborough Charter School, says he's excited to work in expanding the district's interest in STEM use and use of project-based learning.
Now, what does STEM stand for again?
I haven't. Science, technology, economics, and monkeys.
Engineering, mathematics.
Engineering, math.
Those are just my notes. They don't make sense.
That's good. I made up half of that anyway, so that's nice. Again, folks, I've been Sean Francis, and thank you for joining us on this episode of the Sean and Andy Show. Hey, hey, nay, nay. I'm Jim. Shall we do that?
Oh, yeah, we'll redo that.
Hey, hey, nay, nay. I'm Jim. This is Andy. Welcome to another edition of the Jim and Andy Show. Got anything to say?
Yeah. We'd like to thank Mr. John Rosa for allowing us the studio space. Why don't we just jump to some news?
All right. Top story this week. Superintendent Ron Griffin, current deputy director of Foxborough Charter Schools, he is excited to work on expanding the district's interest in the STEM and use of project-based learning. What are your thoughts on this? First thought comes to mind.
Hate project-based learning. Hate it.
Huge.
What?
All right. Next year, school will be beginning at 8:20 a.m.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm not too happy about this. It's gonna. I think people think, 8:20. That's another hour of sleep, maybe, or half hour of sleep, and they're gonna say, it's gonna be awesome. But no, I think people are gonna adjust to it real quick, and it's gonna feel just the same as before. Thanks, everybody. I'm Jim. This is Andy. Hope you have a spectacular day. Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right, welcome, award-winning listeners, to the very first of many Jake and Andy shows.
We'd like to thank Mr. John Rosa for allowing us this studio space. Why don't we just jump to some news?
We'll hop right into it. All right, so big news in Scituate. Superintendent Ron Griffin, current deputy director of Foxborough Charter Schools, he's excited to work on expanding the district's interest in the STEM and use of project-based learning. So we're going to school next year. Has been moved to 8:20. Does Ron Griffin have anything to do with this? Because if he does, I'm taking my vote out for Ron Griffin. Hate it.
I'm giving Ron Griffin a vote because I like that extra half hour of sleep.
I mean, it doesn't matter for Akon because he's going to be 10 minutes late like he is every day anyway.
Ooh. Eat it.
Whatever.
Yes.
Whatever. I don't care.
I mean, he's going to show up with that perfectly coiffed hair. Little late, though. Akon, I understand you got a new automobile recently. You think it's going to make it till next year? Do you think it's going to make this 8:20 start time?
It's a fast car. A 1999 Buick Century Custom Model Blue. Yeah, I think we'll do just fine.
I understand you have a name for that car as well, too, right?
Buey Lewis.
Great name. So this was the first edition of the Jake and Andy Show. Name TBD. Thanks for listening.
Well, everybody's doing a nice job. It's going to be very hard to pick who's going to be the new Ben.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hard to replace.
It's not going to be the Ben and Andy Show anymore. It's going to be a whole new show.
Yeah, but
new segments, new everything.
Yeah, I won't have hotcakes with Brian and I anymore.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
Speaking of hotcakes, all right, so we bring you guys back into hot takes with Jimmy Mack and Jake Bridgman, friends of the program, auditioning for roles next year. Perhaps we're going to do some rapid fire hot takes since Brian is not here. First up for you guys, we got the video of the dog owner who lost weight and his dog didn't recognize him until he came home. Cue the video.
Come here, Will. Oh, you hear about smell, he'll know. Where you going?
It's like, where you being, Daddy? Where you being?
Look at that. He had to smell it. What are you doing, bud? Good God, Jane, where you been? You look skinny. Jamie, come here, let me give you something. Come here. Come here. Here's another yellow.
Jamie, what do you got on this dog owner guy?
I thought it was very touching. As a former dog owner, do not own one anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's very touching, very sad, and it's also, it makes you feel for that dog and the whole situation that this man now has lost so much weight that his dog doesn't even recognize him. That's just a huge accomplishment.
What do you think, Bridgman?
He was really sick, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Come back from the hospital, dog,
I don't know.
scared of you. I bet for a quick second he was like, oh my God, my dog doesn't even recognize me anymore.
Yeah?
Got all sad, and then gets a little sniff of him, little sniff. That's all I needed. Back to best friends.
Next year for you guys, doesn't really affect me, but school starts at 8:20. I'm gonna start with you this time. What do you think about that? School starting later?
Terrible. Hate it. Practice for football already gets out at like 7:30 already, so we're gonna be there till probably 9 o'clock, and then I'm probably just not gonna do any homework and just
Probably not.
fail out of
Senior year
school. It's
doesn't
gonna be
matter.
sweet.
Jimmy, what do you think?
I'm also a football player.
Sick brag.
Sick.
Weird brag.
I'm pretty good.
Take my take.
You wonder, will this push everything else back? Will it push all the other extracurricular activities back? You never know, but it could make football last longer, could make it not. And also, I enjoyed the once a week, Wednesday morning, wake up late.
Is that negated? Is that gone next year?
I don't know, is it? Because
Wait, didn't they?
Oh, that's sick.
Didn't they recently just push it up to 7:45? Didn't it used to be earlier too?
It was even earlier. It was my freshman year.
Got out like
we got at
1:50.
1:51. Yeah,
That's
my
sick
freshman year
too.
was
Like
dope.
you don't like
So
once
now-
you're up.
Now, when are we getting out after school?
I don't know.
2:40.
Ooh.
All right, so once you're up in the morning, I mean, it stinks to get up, but once you're there, you're in a daze, and then you just kind of like zone out to the first block, which is, some may argue that's wrong, but you don't remember it.
It's been working well for this long.
Yeah, no, worked well for me. Next up, we got the Nordstrom selling $425 pre-muddy jeans. Jeans that just come dirty. You buy them. What do you think?
It's so good. It's so gonna be a trend soon, though. It's like so obvious. You look at it now. I feel like we've seen this through like ripped jeans and everything, and then about 5 years from now, everyone's gonna be wearing muddy jeans. It's gonna be gross.
Thinking the same thing. I could see this on one of Kanye's dope fits.
Shout out Kanye, dope fits. Follow him on Instagram.
Kanye_fits on Instagram. It's people think the ripped jeans is just crazy. Like, who would want to wear that? It's just destroyed jeans. And now you got muddy jeans. What's next?
I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we got Donald Trump, who's pressing the red button. Not the red button you think, but a Coca-Cola button that he presses in his office, and somebody brings it to him. So he's just got a button that he presses. Someone brings him a Coke. What do you think about that?
That's fire.
It's like if I was a child, I would think this is a great idea. But I don't know. It's quicker, more efficient. But he could just keep a mini fridge under his desk in the Oval Office. Maybe you don't need that button.
I think that's a pro move, actually. Can presidents get advertisement deals? Because that would be a sweet commercial.
That might be a
He'd press the button, and then it would just like zoom all the way over to like a guy, grab the Coke, and like follows him into the Oval Office. That'd be fire.
Did you guys see that Pepsi commercial?
Yeah, that would be.
The Pepsi commercial that was
What's her name?
yeah.
Jenner?
Yeah.
The one where she gives the Pepsi to the riot officer? It's just like,
Did someone try to do that in real life?
You got beat up. It was funny. Last up, speaking of food, we got Doritos now including a music player in their Doritos bags as a promo for the Guardians of the Galaxy. So you get a bag of Doritos and you get a music player. So Doritos bag playing music. It's kind of...
How much does that cost?
It's a bag of Doritos with a music player inside. It's like a promo deal. I don't know.
This must be something that costs about 10 cents to make.
Yeah.
They're giving it out in Dorito bags, which are no more than $2. It's a good way to get the word out. Have some people sharing music, listen to some tunes, getting amped for some sports.
What do you think?
Cool X factor. I think birthday cards changed the game with that, and I think that Doritos is trying to follow in the footsteps. I love it.
My only bone to pick with this, I mean, it's a good idea. Music is always fun, especially when you're eating Doritos. But Doritos, you must remember, have this delicious coating.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this music player's in the bag, it's going to be coated in Dorito dust.
Well, I mean,
so I mean, you bring that out and it's just like Dorito dust everywhere.
Dorito
Cereal
fingers.
box, the toy isn't just in there; it's in the wrapping.
No, I know, but the
Dorito-
wrapping, you have to like open it, and then the Dorito dust is all over your hands. And
If you're eating Doritos, you can't do anything else because then
No.
you're gonna get Dorito fingers.
you ever
all
tried to
over.
Dorito use your phone while you're eating Doritos?
Yeah, it's
impossible.
Wipe your fingers off.
Like one of these, and then it's gross. It's disgusting.
Then you lick them. Then you lick your fingers, and then you get more Dorito stuff on it.
It's so gross. Anyways, Jake, Jimmy, thanks for stopping by, helping me out today. That's hot takes.
Vote me.
I don't think it's a voting thing, but okay.
I'm happy.
Good job. And now for sports. Boys lax 4-3. Girls lax 7-1. Killing it. Baseball is 3-1. Tennis, boys tennis and girls tennis, both 5-1. Rolling as per usual. That's all we got for sports this week. So that was a fun episode. Got a lot of young, new talent coming through the doors. The future of the Ben and Andy Show, or whatever we're going to call it, or whatever you're going to call it, looks bright to me. For now, this is the Ben and Andy Show. As always, I'm Ben. That's Andy. Thanks for hitting play.